What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to TTP Sports. And the Phillies, they lose the series to the Los Angeles Dodgers. They lose the first two games of this three-game set. They lose today by a score of 8-2. And yesterday I couldn't cover the game last night just because of how late it went. Everything was so fluky. I was just like, maybe I'll just bring up some points from the game yesterday. Maybe somehow tie them into this game. So you lose 8-2. You lose the first two games of this series. Once again, you have to go through another rain delay. And yes, the offense was very quiet, but also just the Dodgers, they're just a whole different level of team. They are. That's pretty much the obvious point. And I feel like for this series loss, I don't think it's nowhere close to hit the panic button. There's no need to be concerned because you're going up against a different team than, say, teams that are in your division. Teams like the Nationals, teams like the Mets. Even I would consider the Braves at this point, even though they just had a big walk-off shot against the Reds tonight. But still, you're facing drastically different tiers of teams. The Dodgers, they're in the elite of the elite. They're a really good team. And a really good team is going to cash in off of your mistakes. They're going to hurt you for not having the fundamentals right. I'm talking to you, Alec Bohm. Being a terrible fielder, and he had a crack at first base tonight, and it was just exactly how you pictured it. Not good. Not good at all. The defensive mistakes, mishaps, Alec Bohm being terrible in the infield. Alec Bohm's just unplayable. He is. In the field, he is absolutely unplayable. And even though, yes, his batting has gotten better since, I would say, June, July, he still, right now, hasn't found the way to develop that power. So basically, he is pretty much unplayable. Ronald Torreyes has been way better than Alec Bohm this year in the field and with the bat. Ronald Torreyes should be your starting third baseman for the rest of the season. Honestly, I can understand for tonight's game because you had David Price on the mound for the Dodgers. Yeah, playing Brad Miller against the lefty is probably not the most ideal thing. So, honestly, you had to put Alec Bohm in there because you don't have Rhys Hoskins because of him being on the 10-day IL. So, yeah, you're kind of hindered there. And also, in this game, J.T. Realmuto goes down with an injury in the first inning. He finishes that first inning, but he can't come out after because he gets drilled with two foul balls off the bat of Max Muncy. So hopefully everything is fine with him. I'm assuming Joe Girardi's going to give an update on that after his press conference, so I'll scroll through Twitter just to see what the concern is, but I'll wait till Joe Girardi comes on his press conference because they haven't showed that on postgame yet. So eventually that will happen, hopefully. But yeah, it's definitely not the cause for concern. Definitely not, because you are playing the Dodgers. But still, the fundamentals of this team, it's going to be like this for the rest of the year. I keep saying this team is going to be involved for the rest of the year because that's how bad the division is. And also to the Phillies' benefit, they still have one of the easier schedules in the league. So that's going to be their benefit. They're going to be in this thing until the end of the year. This one series loss against the Los Angeles Dodgers, who are a completely different team, it's not going to hurt them. Well, yeah, technically, yes, it does hurt them, but it's not the make or break of the season. It's a series loss. They were eventually going to lose a series after winning 8 straight games. They were eventually going to. Sadly, it's to the Dodgers, but also you got to handle it is the Los Angeles Dodgers. They are a different type of team. And even though they don't have guys like Justin Turner, Mookie Betts in the lineup, they still have other guys in the lineup that are going to provide Justin Turner, Cody Bellinger, Max Muncy, every other guy in the lineup, AJ Pollock, all those guys, Corey Seager. They have a lot of guys that can just step into that lineup and can contribute. A lot of those guys that, can step into their lineup could be a starter on a different team. That's just how stacked they are. And that's how good they are. And their bullpen, yeah, way better than the Phillies. Without a doubt, way better than the Phillies. So you go into this game. Joe Girardi elects to go Connor Brogdon to start the game because, weather in the past couple of days in the city of Philadelphia has been very, spotty. Humidity, rain happening at any second, especially during these Phillies games. Happened yesterday with that long rain delay, which took Aaron Nola out of his dominant performance and probably turned the momentum of the game in favor of the Dodgers when the bullpen came in the factor. Today, elected to go Connor Brogdon for weather-related purposes. He goes to first inning, Hector Neris goes to second inning, and then you eventually get into that rain delay. Kyle Gibson eventually does come out after the rain delay to pitch in the game. Had a first good inning. Then he really struggled in that fourth inning against Cody Bellinger, where he had a 13 pitch at bat, just fouling balls off left and right, got the full count, fouling balls off left and right, left and right, left and right, just can't seem to get him out. And then that one fastball he throws on the outside of the plate, hits it to the opposite field, makes it 1-0 Dodgers, and then the rest of the inning just made it a 3-0 lead for the Dodgers. It just, I'm struggling to say the words right now. I'm mixing up my words. But still, I digress. That at-bat really, I would say, flustered Kyle Gibson a little bit. And that's probably what led to him having that struggle of an inning. A lot of the Dodgers have scored 3 runs. The Cody Bellinger double. Then you get David Price, out of all people, hitting an RBI double to make it 3-0. So, yeah, Gibson definitely got flustered in an inning after that Cody Bellinger at bat. The Phillies do respond, though. Ronald Torres gets a 2-run single. Makes it a 3-2 ball game. But basically, for offense-wise, that's all the Phillies can muster. Odubel Herrera did have a really good chance at the end of that 4th inning, though. Crushed the ball to center field. It just died. It died and landed right into the glove of Cody Bellinger, who made a nice grab out in center field. Bryce Harper also had an at-bat, too, where he looked like he absolutely crushed one. It just died in center field. Maybe got under it a little too much. But you could definitely tell with the weather out there, with the way the wind was blowing in, the balls were just dying. If you hit them all, even though you hit them hard and you hit them up in the air, it's going to die. It's just going to die out there. That Cody Bellinger ball, it was a hard line drive, which the reason why he got out of the ballpark. So, yeah, it was just going to be one of those nights where if you hit a ball up into the air, like really high up into the air, it was going to die, no matter how far you hit it into the outfield. So, Kyle Gibson, he does eventually settle down, but you go into that top of the 7th inning, you get a couple of more, mishaps. Trey Turner gets a single. Max Muncy gets hit by a pitch. Then you get Corey Seager, fielder's choice, Alec Bohm just making errors left and right. Alec Bohm has had so many errors in this game. There was one situation where there was a ground ball. No one was covering second base. Alec Bohm needed to dive to make the ball, and he just didn't even attempt to go after it because he thought someone was there at the second base position, so wasn't able to get that ball. He got literally just dropping a ball that goes right under his glove. It should have been a routine play. He can't even make it, so Alec Bohm is just all over the place defensively, and this allows to happen, and it scores another run for the Dodgers, making it 4-2, and then eventually a pass ball by Andrew Knapp makes it a 5-2 ball game. Kyle Gibson eventually comes out of the ball game. Double switch. In comes Archie Bradley and Brad Miller to replace Alec Bohm. Archie Bradley gets the first batter to strike out, which is Cody Bellinger, to get the second out of the inning. But then A.J. Pollock gets an RBI single to make it a 6-2 ball game. And that's where you go. You go bottom of the 7th inning. Nothing happens for the Phillies. And then you go eventually into the top of the 9th inning. Once again, Mauricio Llovera. I don't know why he's coming out. I don't know why Joe Girardi's giving him all these opportunities. I just don't understand why. It's probably because they are losing 6-2 in the top of the 9th inning. Probably why. But another appearance for Llovera and more home runs allowed. He allowed a 2-run shot to Cody Bellinger, which barely went by the foul pole. Makes it an 8-2 lead. And that is how your ball game finishes. Just the Dodgers describing from these first 2 games of the series. They're obviously a way better team than the Phillies are. Obviously. They're obviously a way better team than anyone in this division. That's how good they are. And looking at that National League West with the Giants, the Padres, the Dodgers, none of those teams compare. Well, none of the teams in the NL East compare to those 3 teams. No way in hell. So that's why I'm mostly stating that there's no cause for concern with this series loss to the Dodgers, just because it's the Dodgers and they're just on a completely different level than any other team in the league, with the other 2 in their division as well. So that's why I'm not really going to say it's a cause for concern. But those fundamentals that the Phillies lack, defensively, everything else, it's going to happen the rest of the season. But they still benefit from the weaker schedule. They're still going to benefit from that. Their offense, they're going to go through their cold and hot spurts. That's just what they've been the entire season. Their pitching's going to go through their cold and hot spurts. That's what they've been the entire season. And like I said, they're going to be there until the very end, especially with the teams like the Braves, like the Mets. It's going to be a 3-horse race until the very end of the season. And eventually the Phillies were going to lose the game. They were eventually going to lose a series. That's how baseball works. That's why there's 162 games in a season. But that's why I'm really not going to be concerned. But still, you got to take it game by game, series by series, see how this team performs. If they can somehow salvage tomorrow and bounce back against the Reds this weekend. The Reds have been playing a lot better as of late too, but they've struggled a little bit with the Braves. So, yeah, Joey Votto has been hitting absolute missiles for a long stretch of time. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough weekend stretch for this team. It definitely is. Got to salvage tomorrow. Got to find a way to win the series against the Reds. It's going to be tough. It definitely is. So, you go into the pitching for tonight. Brogdon, he went in the first inning, went the full inning, allowed 1 hit, 1 walk, didn't strike out anyone. Pretty solid inning out of him. Hector Neris pitches the second inning, pitches the full thing, allows 1 hit and strikes out 3. Really good appearance for Hector Neris. The rain delay eventually happened, and Kyle Gibson came in. He pitched 4 in the third innings, 6 hits allowed, 3 earned runs. 3 of those were unearned because of all the errors the Phillies made today. 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, and a home run allowed. Not the best performance from Gibson on the mound in the Phillies uniform, but still. The defensive mishaps and really that Cody Bellinger bat really flustered him in that 4th inning. Archie Bradley came in after that. He pitched 2/3 of an inning, allowed 1 hit and 1 strikeout. J.D. Hammer, he came in for the 8th inning. He got through that 1, 2, 3. Yovera comes in for the 9th. 3 hits allowed, 2 earned runs, and the home run allowed to Cody Bellinger. He also had a walk and a strikeout. For the lineup, Gene Segura, he goes 2 for 4. Probably the best hitter in the lineup today. J.T. Realmuto, he did not get an at-bat because he left this game after the top of the first inning after getting hit in the face by those 2 foul balls from Max Muncy. So Andrew Knapp came in for him. He went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Really not expecting much from him. Bryce Harper, he went 0 for 3 in this ballgame. 1 walk, 1 strikeout. His average now drops to .297. And yeah, his batting probably has been the best in these 2 games in this series. He has left a lot of pitches that were right down the middle where he just barely missing them. He's just whiffing on them or he's popping them up. Bryce Harper, he's gonna get back together. He is. I'm not worried about Bryce at all. Andrew McCutchen, 1 for 3, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. And Andrew McCutchen made some nice plays in the outfield too. One on a hit by Will Smith where it went right off the wall. Fighting for a double. Andrew McCutchen made a nice throw to get him out at second base. He also made a nice run down later in the ballgame as well. So, first game back from McCutchen in a while. Made some nice defensive plays. He also got a hit in this ballgame as well. Alec Bohm, he went 0 for 3 with a run scored. Then he eventually got switched for Brad Miller. Didi Gregorius, he goes 2 for 4 in this ballgame with a run scored. Ronald Torreyes, he goes 1 for 2 with the lone 2 RBIs in this ballgame. Adubel Herrera, he goes 0 for 3. Then you eventually get all the pinch hitters. Brad Miller, he goes 0 for 2. Mickey Moniak had appearance in this ballgame. He goes 0 for 1. Nick Maton had a pinch hit appearance. He went 0 for 1. A bunch of pinch hits everywhere. In terms of runners in scoring position, the Phillies had barely anything. They were 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position, and they left 7 runners on base. Andrew McCutchen also had an appearance later with 2 runners on base. It was 3-2 at the point, and the tying run was on second base. Bryce Harper worked a 4-pitch walk. I think Gene Segura was eventually on base as well. And then a pitch right down the middle, a hanging slider, and McCutchen pops it up. So the Phillies, I would say also the common theme is they've been struggling a lot recently with pitches that are right down the middle of the plate. That's just one thing that I want to point out. For some reason, I don't know why they can't hit pitches that are hanging fastballs or just hanging sliders, curveballs, whatever you want to name it, that are right down the middle of the plate. There have been a lot of them this series for this team, and it just for some reason can't connect with them. So hopefully that's not something that's going to last too long, but I digress. Going to the standings. So now the Phillies, they are tied for first place with the Atlanta Braves. They are both 59 and 55. The Mets, they are a game behind both teams. They are 57 and 55. And looking at the run differential, I don't know why I can't talk today. I think this game just really scrambled my brain. Scrambled it. Can't talk today. My God. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. But the run differential. For the Phillies, they're a minus 16. The Braves, they got their run differential up to a plus 68. That just shows how better their offense is than any of the other teams in this division. And hopefully that's not a sign for what is to come for the Braves because they have been very hot as of late. They've won 8 out of their last 10. Same thing with the Phillies. And they are currently on the 3-game win streak with their win today over the Cincinnati Reds. So hopefully that's not a tale for what's to come. That the Braves are... Hopefully they don't run away with this division, but I don't want to get too ahead of myself. But still, I think this division is going to be down till the very end for all 3 of these teams. So right now with this series loss, it's definitely nothing for concern. With the games upcoming, for tomorrow's game, 105, it's going to be Rangers Suarez on the mound going up against, right now, it's to be determined for the Los Angeles Dodgers. We don't know who is going to be on the mound for them. And which also kind of concerns me with tomorrow's game is Rangers Suarez is going to be on the mound. So guaranteed he's only going to go maybe 4 innings at most with his pitch limit, most likely. If it's best, if he keeps that pitch count down, he goes 5 innings, but I can't guarantee that. So it's most likely you're going to be utilizing the bullpen once again. And then Zach Wheeler is going to be on the mound Friday against the Cincinnati Reds for the first game of that series. And it already sounds like that Matt Moore is going to be the starter on Saturday against the Reds. And you already know how I feel about that. So yeah. And before I end this video off, I want to see if Joe Girardi provided an update on the JT Realmuto situation. Hopefully it's nothing as bad. Just hopefully it is not. Let me see. Okay. Joe Girardi, this is from Jim Salisbury. Joe Girardi says JT Realmuto is being evaluated for a concussion. He is day-to-day as they await the results. So we can expect that JT Realmuto is probably not going to play the next couple of days. So hopefully nothing too serious is going to come with that. And also, this is from Matt Gelb as well. JT Realmuto is questionable for tomorrow, well, / today, since it is 12 midnight. So he's going to go through concussion protocol. He's going to go through the tests. So most likely, I would assume, since it's such a short gap between right now and tomorrow afternoon's game, I would assume he's most likely not going to be playing in tomorrow afternoon's game. That's just the assumption on my part. Don't take me for credit, though. Definitely do not. With all the words that I have butchered in this video, definitely do not take me for credit. Just definitely do not. So that's going to end it for this video, everyone. What are your thoughts on this game? Your thoughts on this series so far? Are you concerned? Are you in panic mode? Or are you just in that situation? It's the Dodgers. They were probably going to lose the series to begin with. There's a bunch of season left. So I want to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to leave those down there. Do not forget to drop a like on this video as well. Also, do not forget to check out the Bandit Lines, which I'm a part of. Their links are down in the description below. Also, the links to Broads Media, the Florida Pod merch website, and also Flyers Nitty Gritty. All that good stuff is down in the description below. Do not forget to check those out. And the most important thing you can do is subscribe to the channel. I would very much appreciate that if you do. And I will see you next time.